Good morning, everyone. My name is Jay. As Sarah said, I'm the lead pastor here at CLCC, and I'm pretty excited about today. This is my first kids musical day, and we are very excited to be here. But before we get into our musical, I just want to share a few things with you. One of them is simply that I want to invite you back throughout the month of December. We are going to have services every Sunday in December, and we have a special theme this year called Meaningful Interruptions. Now, you might be thinking, this is an interruption here. Let's get to the kids. I know, but give me a couple minutes, and I just want to tell you about our theme. And really what we're looking at is we're looking at the Christmas story through the eyes of some of the people that were there, and how they encountered interruptions, how they encountered disruptions in their lives, and yet, in the midst of those moments, God was with them. God showed up in their lives. You think particularly about Mary. I'm sure you've heard about Mary. If not, you will hear about her through our kids' presentation this morning. But Mary, above probably anybody, encountered this incredible interruption in her life. Here's this young lady who's wanting to get married, planning to get married and have a family, and all of a sudden, an angel shows up and says there's going to be a slight interruption in the plan. You are going to find yourself pregnant, and the Son of God is going to be your first child. And here Mary finds herself invited into this incredible plan of God, but this plan of God is going to be a little bit messy, it's going to be a little bit difficult at times, and yet Mary says yes. At some point, whether initially or a little bit later, Mary gets excited about being part of God's plan, even though it was quite an interruption. Now, you and I, we're not going to have an interruption in our life quite like Mary or Joseph. That role of giving birth to the Savior has been taken. But you and I might find ourselves in situations where life presents itself an interruption in our world as well. Sometimes it's our own fault. We say yes to too many things. We eat too much. We spend too much. We do things where we create some interruptions in our life and disruptions in our life. Now, I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but I just want to suggest to you that our lives also have interruptions. And what I would encourage you to think about today is that God may be saying something in the midst of those interruptions in your life. God has the ability to take whatever circumstances happen in our lives and bring something good out of them. God sometimes uses and actually purposes to bring interruptions into our life because He has a better plan for us. He wants to point us to Him to discover the life He has for us. When Mary said yes to God's plan, she discovered life as it was meant to be lived for her. This morning and throughout December, I would encourage you to consider how God may be speaking to you. Maybe God is taking some of those interruptions, those disruptions in your life, and He's pointing you towards Him. Maybe He's trying to change the course of your life so that you will discover God's plans for your life. If you've never said yes to Jesus, or you've never said yes to following Jesus, and yet you think maybe something is going on in my life, there's so many weird things happening, somebody else is perhaps behind these things. Maybe it's God trying to get your attention. And throughout this Christmas season, I want to encourage you to let God direct you to Him. Let God help you discover life as it was meant to be lived, even in the midst of some of those messy interruptions in your life. When we say yes to God, we truly discover great life. This morning, if you are maybe seeking, maybe you're struggling a little bit, maybe you're interested in discovering a little bit more about what God might have for your life, after our service, there'll be a couple of us down at the front, and we'd be happy to chat with you. Pastor Phil's going to be at our welcome desk, and if you would like to talk to someone, stop by and talk to us and say, I have some questions. I'd just like to discover more about what God may be doing in my life today. Now, enough of my interruption, but we are going to get to our children's production today.